Welcome back to Kaguya-sama, Love is War, anime review episode number 10. Yep, this one finally reached episode 10. Yeah, currently it's the only anime review series I'm currently doing right now, aside from Read Over Healer, because that one just started. This one's the only one where it's actually below like 10 episodes, where it's actually just reached an episode just now. Yep. Now, this one reviewing the 27th episode of the series, which is also the third episode of season 3. We have Nagisa Kaguya wants to kill, Maki Shijo wants to take action, and Shirogane wants to be believed. Yeah, the third one is a bit of a fall off from the karaoke stuff from last episode. Yes, it's a bit of a fall off from that, despite the fact this actually is, I think, basically the way they adapt this is that, well, it kind of does take place afterwards, because here's the thing, this episode adapts 3 straight chapters, which, not the first time they did this for an episode, where they adapted several chapters in a row. Yeah, they did. Last time they did this was basically with the penultimate episode of season 1, which was, it actually, well, scratch that. They did it pretty much for 3 straight episodes, adapting 11 straight chapters. Yes, where they went from chapter 80 to 90 in just 3 episodes. Yes, for 3 straight chapters. Well, they did in fact do this for the first season of the show, also with episode 18. There's still some chapters they have not adapted just yet, per se. No, they haven't. As a matter of fact, that even though they're slowly trying to fill in the gap between episodes, right now anyways, is that basically the chapter that came out, like, they adapted for episode 24, which was chapters 91, 100, and 101. They've almost got it done. I think, like, as of right now, I think, like, the only chapter left is 92. Yeah, there's still a good chunk of chapters to be adapted. Now, the first segment leads into the second one. And also, the character pops up in the first segment is related to one of the main characters. I will get to that. So you first start out with having Kaguya and the one Issei, who's from the display committee, who just happily a member of the student council. I think she's the auditor, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So they have a conversation about possibly Nikki's boyfriend may have actually cheated on her with her best friend, due to the fact that she followed them and the fact that she's holding hands. Yeah, they debate about this the whole episode, the whole segment, and when she finally confronts him, it turns out, nope, he wasn't cheating on her with her best friend. Basically, he asked her to help him find a gift for their 6-month anniversary. Relationship anniversary, that is. Yes. And in the case of that girl, Maki, she pops up in the very next segment. Basically, what happens is leads directly in the very next segment, where she's wandering and we see Shirogane and the treasures walking, and then he accidentally steps on her head. Yes, he of course didn't see her, and I'm surprised she didn't basically file a charge. Of course, he realizes though it was a complete accident. He did not mean to stop. He had no idea he was there. And then we have that's pretty much the same exact segment we had before. This time with the president and treasurer. This time it's with the vice president and the auditor. By the way, the secretary is not in the doesn't really do anything in these 2 segments at all. She doesn't. Chico's a great character, but she is practically nothing. Excuse me. We have basically treasurer basically pushing her that she likes this guy the whole time, and this conversation goes on for a little while, and then Kaguya walks in, and then of course she says, "Oh, hi, Auntie," and she's like, "We're the same age. Don't call me Auntie." She's like, well, she does mention early on that she was related to Kaguya. I mentioned she was her second cousin. Yeah. And apparently how she's related to her is that she's from the Branch family, from one of the big clans. Okay, interesting. Calling her Auntie, even her from Kaguya's perspective, don't call me. Just call me just call her Kaguya. The fact that her father's the head of the clan. Don't need to call her auntie. And then she walks out, and then, of course, basically, like, does that lead to the next segment? No, the next segment simply put just it's mostly put a follow-up from what happened last episode we saw from chapter 94. So we kind of take a break from this for a few chapters. Yes. Now you might be curious though, was 95 adapted in 96? Yes. 96 was adapted for the OVA. I might talk about that at some point. And 95 was adapted for the first episode of the season. So, yes. Now, it's a good thing that by this episode, they have adapted a good chunk of the series so far. They have not gone through like the first 100 chapters. There's still a good amount of chapters they could adapt, but nope, they just choose not to do it. Yes, there is a total of prior to going to the next step, it was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 14 chapters. Could we see possibly something next week, basically, of them adapting this stuff? It's possible, to say at least. But all depends on the studio who makes it. Yes. This one's a livestock just via these coins. Yeah, using the yen currency. And they have various stuff. It does hint at more stuff related to Circuit being in love with Kaguya, of course the viewer is known as at the start of the series. Yeah, it's a really interesting segment. I think Chick is probably the best thing about this segment. Yeah, because I love her bubbling personality. And it's so awesome the fact that she's voiced by Jad Saxton in the English dub. Yeah. An okay episode per se. More adapting stuff, which is fine. I think the first two segments are okay, except they just feel like lead one to another, even though that this one, 99, just basically the last segment, just a fall from the karaoke segment. Despite the fact in the manga, this took up 5 chapters before they finally followed up with it. Yeah, possibly suggesting a group date. Who the heck knows? Hopefully next week they finally close out the gap between 91 and 100. Hopefully they got 1 chapter left. Can we see that possibly after for next week? It's possible. It's the only one left. I would suggest basically adapt 92, some of the other earlier chapters. Before they go to 104 and 109, they need to adapt the early stuff too. Could they adapt it? Who the heck freaking knows? Okay, so that's going to be pretty much it for this particular review. I mean, just an okay episode, per se. I'd say the third segment was the weakest one. Though, the only thing interesting about it is Chica. Yep, so that's going to be pretty much it for this particular review, and that's it for videos today. So, for the next couple days, before Wednesday, which I have the new episode of Rise of Hero that's coming out, the other thing you might see come out the next couple days is probably a comic corner. Maybe. And that's probably it. What I think I get to redo with Healer, I don't know. It's a maybe in that part, but definitely probably a comic corner tomorrow. Okay? Next video. Bye.